So it's not like saying like it's not.
This is a one-to-one.
I see the unilateral thing that's happening where you're like it's like a race thing, but I'm mostly just saying like let's let all women get good care that they deserve. Let's let Black women get the care they deserve. Let's let women of color
no one's saying this, dude.
They deserve.
No one's doing this. No one is saying let's only fix the issue when it comes to Black women. Let's only fix the issue when it comes to white men. No one is saying that. This is a literal all women matter situation we've got going on here, and that's it's an issue. It's a problem.
I guess I'm open to have my mind broadened. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm not. I don't know how to address both concerns because any woman experiencing going through childbirth and having no one care about you in the health care system at a hospital is scary for all women. And it's not saying it's not saying Black women are not disproportionately
but why do you feel
that? But it's like how do we move forward as women and like have each other's back?
But why do you feel defensive about this?
I'm not defensive at all. I want to. I'm like I said, my mind is completely open to understanding.
Can I ask you a question, Beck?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of womanism, a term?
Of course.
Why was womanism coined?
I mean, my understanding would be because women, as a gender, were disadvantaged.
No, that's not why womanism was coined. Womanism was coined by Alice Walker, who was a Black feminist who felt like the feminist movement neglected Black women. Because the feminist movement centered white women and white female issues and advocated only for white women, which is why Alice Walker coined the term womanism, because she wanted to focus on issues that were specific to Black women, because Black women were completely ignored by the feminist movement.
And I believe that's true.
You are talking, yes, and you're talking about what about all women? What about white women? Yes, white women have been the center of Western feminism.
But why is there a lack of unity?
The lack of unity comes from the fact that when white women took charge, they decided to ignore everyone else who wasn't white. The lack of unity.
That's not the experience of all women.
It's because
that's
of
the experience of a few women, but it's not the experience of all women.
It's because of what you're doing right now. Let me finish. So, okay. Let me ask you this. I guess the biggest thing, you know what, Kobe gave you some history, so I'm going to give you some present. So even though after I had that doctor and I decided to switch to another doctor, I had an employee, she was a white woman, and she was like, hey, Aisha, you should go see my doctor, who happened to be a white man.
Okay.
Do you know, when I called him, he said, let me see if I'm accepting people right now.
I've experienced that too, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discredit your experience. I know.
The conversation does not always have to be about you, Beck. The conversation doesn't always have to be about you, Beck.
I'm just saying that
the conversation doesn't always have to be about you.
My experience is valid.
Beck, nobody said your experience is valid, but you do not have to be centered all the time.
Exactly. No one is saying my experience is valid.
So can I ask you one question?
She misspoke. She was saying no one is saying your experience is not valid. In fact, the first thing I did was try and validate your experience.
Yeah. So can I ask you one thing? Did Esha and like when we were talking, did any of us at any point in time say only Black women's experiences are valid?
Maybe before I joined, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
No, we didn't.
From what I heard, no.
We didn't.
You did not.
We didn't.
Yes.
Okay, so when we are saying that all women are affected by maternal mortality rate, but Black women are 4 to 5 times more likely to die than white women.
True.
absolutely.
So when we decide to focus on how black women are disproportionate, I'm a feminist, right? I'm an intersectional feminist. I'm a Marxist feminist. I care about all women, right? And the issue though is I've noticed that as a black woman, a lot of feminists, white feminists, don't care about me.
But that's
So when
not
I
tr-
sit
that's-
here,
but that's not
that
what
is
I'm sitting here saying.
100% true,
It is-
which
that
is
is
why
true.
women. That's
That's
100%
true,
true.
but
100%
but that's not what I'm
which is
saying.
why that is 100% true, which is why womanism even
That is not
exists
what I'm
as a
saying.
concept. What I'm saying is, it doesn't always have to be about you. We as black women can also be centered in the conversation. My question is,
Yeah, of
why
course
did
you
it
can.
why did it trigger you so much so that you requested and you came up here to say all women, kind of like how men always say not all men, or how like Republicans or racist people
Well,
say.
not all men say all men.
I don't think I said that.
But-
I think
no,
I
no,
said
but
I
you-
acknowledge the black experience with maternal fetal death is disgusting at the level and rate that women of color experience.
What
I
she's
just
trying to
acknowledge that.
explain to you, what she's trying to explain to you is that when we are telling you what's happening, your initial thought is, but what about me?
Because it's a relatable experience.
It's
But
not
you're
about
saying-
you though.
But you're
It's relatable. It's a
We're not
relatable
talking,
Yes,
experience.
we're
fine.
not
about
talking
you.
about you right now.
But also-
we're not talking about you right now. We're talking about our experience. And in our experience, we need you to sit down and we need you to listen to it. Just like when I'm ready to have a two-sided conversation with you, then I can sit down and listen to you. And I'm not going to say, well, what about me?
Can I just say quickly, just to reiterate, women are sitting here saying we die, these black women are saying black women die 4 to 5 times more during childbirth than white women in America. And you say, but it's hard for white women too. That is an insane reaction to that statistic. That is entirely centering your experience, which is valid, but in response to that statistic, it is minimizing and dismissing how disproportionate their experience is to yours. Yours is not diminished by how bad theirs is, but that's how you feel. You feel diminished because theirs is worse than yours, and you came up here to say that.
Marginalizing.
I know, but it's not at
Oh my
all.
gosh. Can we also talk about the fact that it was racism? Like we were not only talking about misogyny, we were talking about medical racism.
Yes.
You don't experience racism. You're a white woman. White people don't experience racism, right?
No, you're
came up.
pivoting what I'm saying.
No.
Can
I'm
I
not
speak
pivoting.
can I
You
speak
came
for once, or
into
do
a
you guys get to just
Wait,
speak
hold on
over
one
everyone?
second. 1 second.
You guys have been speaking a lot. I haven't gotten to say much. Is it okay if I speak?
You said too much. That's the problem.
Okay,
You've said
well,
too
it's,
much.
It's clear that there's not a debate if you're not willing to listen to
Girl.
the other person.
Girl,
I
come
don't
on
think
here with her.
respectfully, Beck, I don't think that Isha and Athena are here to debate with you. I think that they came
Okay,
up.
well then that's clearly problematic when it comes to opinions and speaking opinions on a public forum.
This isn't.
You're
I
not
don't
willing
believe
to
that-
listen to other people speak.
Hold on. Can I
That's
just
problematic.
quickly, what I just said to you, pointed thing.
Well, you guys say a lot of stuff, but you
Well,
don't
what
let
did I say
anyone
to
else
you?
speak.
What did I say to you?
You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm
All
not.
of you are.
I'm not. Again, what did I just say to you about you feeling diminished by these people telling their story about how it's worse
I
for
don't
black people?
feel diminished by anyone telling their story. Again, I have not been able to
Your
speak my
sure,
opinion.
but
So
your
how do you
response-
guys know what it is?
Because we have eyes and ears.
Ears for what? I haven't spoken.
You didn't need to. In response, hold on. In response to this story, you came up to say, I know that this is worse than my story, but it's also bad for me. Centering yourself in this conversation that we were having about the disproportionate black women mortality rate, you feel diminished because of their
I do not
experience.
feel
Marginalized.
diminished because of your
Marginalized.
experience.
Correct me. Correct me.
I do not feel diminished because
Correct
of
us.
another woman's traumatic experience.
Correct us.
I do not feel diminished
You said
by
that.
another traumatic
How do you feel?
experience that a woman experienced. What I do feel like is that this is dividing women, and I want women to stand up for each other. I'm listening to your traumas. I hear your traumas, and I believe they're real. And I'm also educated on the statistics as well. It's terrifying at the rate that women of color are marginalized by a medical system to the point where either their babies are dying or they're dying. White women are not experiencing that. I agree with you. I agree with that. I wish that you guys would let me speak and say that. I agree with you.
Well, you just said it. Okay, but Beck, let me tell you, that wasn't the conversation we were having. The conversation we were having was talking about Black women. And you had to put yourself in it. And at that point, we were not having that conversation. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to you. It means that we were talking about Black women.
And I understand that. And I agree with you 100%. I am not standing here saying I'm a non-advocate for the fact that this does not directly affect me.
Isha, I'm having a hard time hearing you, dude.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You want me to say, you know what? I had this horrible experience, but I know all women go through this. And at this point, we weren't having that conversation. That's what you want to hear. And at this point, that's not what we were talking about.
We were talking about centering Black women does not cause division. I need you to stop pretending this. Centering Black women in these conversations when we are talking about racism does not divide women. The fact that you think us focusing on Black women and focusing on how Black women are disproportionately affected causes division.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
What?
Can I ask you something? So it doesn't cause division, right? But as a white woman, the way that you are speaking to me makes me feel divisive.
There you go. What about?
Okay. Wait. Hold on 1 second. How does it make you feel divisive?
Because it feels like an attack.
Oh, am I the big black, bad, aggressive, angry woman?
No,
is that why? Because I'm not attacking you, by the way. The fact that you can hear my voice, I don't even know how more soft spoken I have to be palatable to your white woman tears.
Right.
Oh,
Hey,
am
Beck,
I aggressive? Am I aggressive? Wait, 1 second. You know what, Beck? I don't give a shit what you feel. You feel uncomfortable? Go to the corner and cry your little white woman tears. I don't care, Beck, because it's white women like you who have been divisive. It is white women like you in the suffragette movement who largely ignored Black women. It was white women like you during the suffragette women.
A whole lot of things.
Yes,
that are not
it is
true.
white women like you during the suffragette movement who decided to interlock arms. I did not say you did that.
In fact, I sat
You
here and
said
your facts are true.
Beck.
In fact, I sat here and said your
Beck,
facts are
you accuse me of attacking. Fine, I will fucking attack you, Beck. I will attack you, Beck, and I'll show you what attacking is.
You're not being
I'm not
kind
your sweetheart.
or
I am not your sweetheart. This is why.
You're not.
This is why white liberal feminism has caused a divide within the feminist movement. This is why white liberal feminism literally caused women like Alice Walker to have to coin womanism because we were largely ignored by women like you. I don't have to be kind. I don't have to be kind to a woman.
Who is like me?
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you. A woman like you, a woman like you is a person who hears Black women talking about our issues, and you get so triggered that you have to request and say, "What about me? Don't center Black women," because centering Black aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, all the microaggressions are coming out. All the microaggressions are coming
You
out.
have some
a little
women.
bit.
You have
All
women
the
here.
microaggressions.
Beck, you have women here people that, again, if you're going to call yourself any kind of womanist, feminist, inclusive, intersectional, if you aspire to that, you have women of color here that came on to have a discussion with you, not a debate, but a discussion. And the only, in my opinion, appropriate thing for white women like us to do is to hear them out and reflect. And again, there was something
I genuinely thought I was doing
hang on,
that.
Beck.
You guys.
There was something reactive about the way you came. I mean, something definitely reactive about the way that you came in. You were triggered by something because instead of coming on and saying, oh my God, they shared statistics that I didn't know, because I've certainly learned a few today. You said, oh, I hear them, but. And that big pregnant, this is the thing I would challenge you and me that I am doing as well.
Can I just do a real quick thing? I'm so sorry, Gemini. When you can't actively listen when you are just waiting for your turn to speak. You're not listening to anything anyone's saying to you, including this fucking tirade right now that I'm giving you. If you don't stop talking, you can't listen to the fucking like feedback people are giving you. You did it to Kobe. You did it to Gemini just now. You're doing it to me.
Kobe was yelling at me.
Oh no!
I was not yelling.
Anyway.
What?
Anyway.
Where was I yelling?
Anyway.
You see, this is the misogynoir that I'm talking about. I wasn't even yelling at you, yet you perceive a black woman who talks to you with I don't coddle you. And just because I don't coddle you, now you think I was yelling. Where was I yelling?
You don't even
Because
understand.
I can yell if you want me to yell, but I choose not to yell,
Beck,
sweetheart.
you don't even know that you're doing it. And I'm so sorry, Gemini. Like, I didn't.
Not at all. Not at all. I agree. It's
Beck,
just this reactivity. It's white fragility. And we have it. We all have it, Beck. That's why I'm saying it as loudly as I can, because the more loudly we say it, the more we shine a spotlight on it. Eventually, the hope is to heal this divide. You were talking about this divide. That is not the job of people like Kobe to come in here and speak nicely and make you feel better and bridge a divide. That's up to us, you and me, the white women, to do the work.
I'm listening.
You know what?
There are
Let me
plenty
tell
of
you how.
ideas, but sorry,
Let me
go
tell
ahead,
you
Isha.
how. Part of it is, let me tell you how. When we are having a conversation that has to do with just women in general, okay, great. But we were not having that conversation. So for you to come up here and to be like, oh, but wait, what about me? We were not talking to you. Okay, so it wasn't up to you to put yourself in our conversation.
Even this.
That's what we're trying to tell you. Yes, we know that there are women out there that have issues and things happen to them. It happens to everybody. But what we're trying to tell you is what is happening to us at this point. And instead of you saying, damn, I hear you. Damn, I didn't know that. You were like, wait a minute. Oh my God. What about me? And then when Kobe starts giving you points and facts about what is going on, you're like, she's yelling at me. Girl, we don't give a fuck.
Well, okay. I get you don't give a fuck. Okay, that's your own prerogative. However, I sat up here on this platform and I listened to what you guys were saying, and I did hear what you were saying, and I agreed with you. I'm not really understanding what the need to like discredit the fact that I'm sitting up here saying I understand and I agree that these are facts that
Stop.
multiple times that women.
Stop. That's the end. Stop.
Period.
That's it. Put a period. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
I understand. That's it. That's all we need you to say. The rest of that shit is irrelevant unless we are talking about just women's issues.
Well, and Beck, to give you an example, right? So as women, where exactly what we're talking about, all of us here, right? We've experienced in the medical establishment not being believed, having our pain diminished, all of that, and it is a universal experience. It's infinitely worse for people of color, and with low socioeconomic standards. Good. I'm glad we're agreed on that. So if you were coming up and you were again, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, talking about your lived experience as a woman, and GT, sorry, I won't throw him under the bus. Some dude,
I was just about to do this. I was just about to do it. I was waiting to not interrupt you and just go, well, what about the time that I went to the fucking thing?
Exactly. Well, yeah, and GT has been through some
What about
shit,
my
so
experience?
his experience is valid, but could you imagine how that would feel if you're like, oh, yeah, that, he said, oh, that really sucks that you experienced that as a woman.
But we all do it.
We all do. And what about the men? And you're marginalizing the men. Do you
Imagine.
see?
I was
It's
going
like-
there right. I can't believe we
It's
got there at the same time.
It's like going to like a breast cancer convention and then going up to the podium and shouting, "But what about leukemia? Leukemia matters too." Are you saying that cancer doesn't matter, that all cancers
Okay.
aren't horrible? Why are you talking about breast cancer? So like the amount of times, right?
I actually
that I've gone to
it
the amount of
changed my mind.
the amount of times that I've gone to like lives of like indigenous women talking about MMIW and indigenous issues, and not once have I thought, but what about me? Why are you talking about
She says
MMIW?
she's changed her mind. Let's hear
You
it.
changed my mind. No, you have. You've changed my mind. I get it. That's a really good perspective to put it in.
Thank you, dudes. We fucking did it. It was me. I will once again take credit for this. You're welcome. Dudes ruin everything, and finally, when we put it into that space, you're like, oh, I get it.
No.
You guys are the worst.
No, you put that in. No, Kobe, you put that into perspective that I can actually understand, which is you're right. You stand up on the podium and you say, what about leukemia? But we're talking about breast cancer. That's so eloquently put that I understand. I get it. I don't want to take away from what's important. I don't want any woman to experience anything traumatic in the medical system, but I do know and I do agree that it's more likely and less likely to happen to someone like me and more likely to happen to someone
That's right.
of color.
We did it, team.
You're right.
Great.
You're right.
Thanks for sticking through, Beck.
That's all we're saying.
I get it.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, Isha, and everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Are you gonna kick me for is this like the third time?
I was
Fourth
trying.
time?
Listen. Oh, Kobe didn't even say anything. She
Kobe,
was like,
did she kick herself?
the value that these women add to this life, they pretty much don't even do anything. I just sit up here, cracking wise. I hope that was informative. I think this comes, I don't want to speak about this afterwards. There's a tendency, I'll just speak about it from my perspective because I'm the only one that matters here. This comes from a place of fragility. This comes from a place of fragility that when you are so used to centering yourself, you hear other people being the center. I'm not harping on Beck because I think she fucking got it at the end there. It comes from a place of fragility, and you hear them going like, my situation is really bad. And you go, but mine is too. Because you want to center you have this fucking like psychotic want to center yourself in every conversation. We do that. We do that as humans. We especially do that as these humans. And that's what that is. That's what that feeling in your gut is. It is I don't know if it's normal, but it is a societal phenomenon. When a crowd shouts Black Lives Matter, there is a equal dumber crowd that's going all lives matter. It's your fucking it is your need to center yourself. And it's not good. And I think she got it. I think we did it, dude. Right? Who is this dude doing the nose thing? area. We do need a palate cleanser. Do we need do we have any dudes that feel really strongly that they are the alpha and want to come and talk about that? Let's get it back in my wheelhouse, dude. We need a push-up contest is what we need. We need some unearned confidence. We need some unearned confidence in here. Let's get that going. I'm a drag queen. If Athena could just not be so aggressive all the time, if she could not just be the stereotypical aggressive, I think that things would just be Sorry, I'm just reading some comments. I'm just waiting for the coup to start. I'm just waiting for the coup to start. It's any day now. We did use bread thirst. It's great. To be honest, the restraint that these women show sometimes pretty wild, pretty crazy. There's 67 guest requests. What the fuck? Sorry, whoever that was that I just declined. I'm sorry. I know that I say it a lot. And I would just like to reiterate how much we value their input here, because I'm pretty limited in terms of my lived experience, and we have a lot, a vast web, a big quilt that we weave. I appreciate them, is what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry. I'm just delaying. I'm just trying to take a deep breath. Sure. Why not? Let's just.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with everything you said about that, but one thing you guys didn't really mention is that it's even